What is going on? What is going on, everybody? Man, I just wanted to check in with what is going on. Yes, I just wanted to check in with everybody as we get ready to go into this fourth quarter. And, man, it's been a while. It has been a while since we've been on screen. I'm just going to say the We Working Team, we have definitely been working. So we've been a little busy, but I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody else on. We just going to kick back. We're going to have a good time. We're going into the fourth quarter, as I'm calling it, and we're wrapping up the spring. We're going to see how everybody been doing. Let's go ahead and see what they got for the crew. What is going on? What is going on, fellas?
What's poppin'?
What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's been a busy spring, guys. It's been a busy spring. What y'all been up to?
Go ahead, Turk.
Man,
Go ahead, Turk.
man, I'm out here doing the impossible, man. And even though my family over there on the other side of the pond, y'all rolling in the fourth quarter, this is just the third quarter for me. It's just the third quarter for me because my weather's a little different. But considering I got a brand new lawn in less than 30 days, Cam, what you say? A lawn in 5 days? Got a brand new lawn.
That's how it came in. Hey, man, that yard came in. It was like he dropped seed. The next thing you know, he was cutting. full coverage and cutting.
Yeah, we do have to baby her a little bit, going into this next season. Weather's not going to get as harsh as it would back when I was in Maryland, but it's still going to be a little challenge because we don't have 100% dense coverage protecting
Yeah.
that soil quite yet. So, but yeah, man, we done did it. We here now. We on the fishing. We cruising. We mowing every other day, if not every day, if I can get out there.
Mm.
Life is good, man. Life is good.
Hey, man, that low cut life.
That low cut society, baby. Come on, join us. Come on over here.
Y'all can
Come
have
on
that.
over here.
Polo like y'all can have that.
Y'all can have that. I cut every day, literally, anyway. So y'all can have that.
But what's been good on your end, Polo? What you been having going on?
Oh man,
How the
been
spring treat you?
steadily grinding, man. We are already we've been in our disease pressure window. So, um, praise God that all of my clients are covered right now. That was one of the main fears as far as when they was starting to creep up a little bit and making sure that everybody was good, but just trying to keep everybody maintained and controlled. Otherwise, man, it is smoking down here, man. It's hot, man. Man, it's hot, man. But just out here grinding, man. Out here grinding.
Yeah, man, it's everything's been good here, man. I can't complain. As far as the spring, our spring was real late. Was late starting, and it's just kind of been lingering. Like we just really hit one of them stretches of where we got consistent 90-degree days, and it was just a little 3 or 4 days here, and then we just got a second little wave that we're just getting through. I think it was 91 Monday, 92 the day after that, like 94 the day after that. And
Uh-huh.
then and we're talking sun beaming, everything. It was scorching out there. Hey man, and I made the lawn tough it out too. I ain't putting no water on it, nothing. I was like, hey man, you gonna man up this year. We
You
ain't
know, man.
babying. You gonna
I
man
mean,
up.
tell you that.
We ain't babying nothing. You in year 2. Man up.
I remember I was like, Cam, you better check your sprinklers, dog, before you end up getting caught with your pants down out there, man. Cam was riding it out, talking about, yeah, I still ain't turned my sprinklers on. I was like, all
Yeah.
right now, turn them dang little sprinklers on, make sure they working at least before you get caught. You get caught out there.
Man, I was smooth about to get, and I was like, man, turf right. I should probably at least make sure everything. You're probably right. I should at least make sure everything is working. So I did check everything out. We good. Everything is working, and like I said, man, we've had significant rain. Like we've had enough moisture and stuff in the soil, and to be honest, the reason, of course, I intentionally I wanted the lawn to dry out. We've had a little bit too much moisture for me, where it's just been raining and the ground has been consistently wet for a couple of days straight. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna let this joint ride during this high temperatures, let it dry out, and it actually looks better now that it did that than what it did before. It was just too much moisture in it. So knock that disease pressure down in it a little bit. Um, Turf, I don't think you've been seeing no disease pressure over that way, have you?
Nah, man, but I had a nice little scare. I lost my
Oh yeah.
mind for a whole like 4 hours until y'all woke up and reeled me back in, man. Because as you were saying, oh, you needed to dry up. I had issues dialing in my watering once the turf was like 70, 80% germinated. I'd already put a few mows on it, got a few strokes on that thing, and then the weather just warmed up. It didn't stay warm long, which it never really does out here, but when I'm talking about warm, it got like 88, 91, and I think one day it got to 92, and then the nights was still pretty warm as well. And I was watering, well, outside of even watering, I was getting some rain flushes, but there was those heavy runoff rains, and they were fooling, deceiving. Don't trust them, because when you're dealing with a silt clay like myself, the water wasn't getting to where it needed. So the turf looked like it was in the beginning stages of showing some type of disease to the paranoid eye, because I can't, I'm like, man, I have to finish this year with as much year one turf as possible. So I'm not doing the same thing all over again next season. So I'm out there taking pictures, snapping them, dropping them in the chat, like, "Hey man, what does this look like?" And then as soon as y'all woke up and looked, and he was like, "Hey Turf, you just calm down, bro. Just put some water on it." And that's what I did. I put water on it. I dumped up, man, and then I think we rolled it. I rolled in to the grass factor, called in, showed them the pictures, and they clowned me too. And they was like, "Look, you're good, man. You're good. You're in good shape." So, but I say that's probably my weakest. That's my weakest. That's the weakest link in my toolbox is disease identification. It's not that I can't identify it. It's just that I lose I lose sight of the mission when it happens, because I panic. I hit the panic button. But that's why you keep a strong team around you, man, and keep you balanced, keep you grounded. So yeah, but not no disease pressure out here. Just a paranoid first time full renovation.
And I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. The thing is you when you do that first renovation, it's a little different. It's some scary moments in there of when it gets the first scary moment is when everything is dead. That's the first time. That's the
Well,
first phase of it. It was like, oh, it ain't
neighbors
no
walking their
turn.
dogs, they looking like,
It ain't no turning back at that point. You are in it till the end at that point. It ain't no turning back. You done.
everybody looking at you crazy in the neighborhood,
The,
man. You getting
the
some, you
second
getting some
time
awful looks.
the second time is when you get to the point of it's bare dirt.
Mm.
That's the second time you just like, all right, here we go. Here we go.
Just looking at the weather, like, please don't give me a nice hard rainfall. I don't need it in my life right now, sweet baby Jesus. I don't need it.
Yep. And I get those are the first two, and the third one I would say is if you're putting in irrigation, does your irrigation work properly? And the other point is, if you get to the point when stuff starts germinating and coming up, and it just kind of hits the brakes, and like stuff just pauses for a while, especially if you got KBG in there and it hits that pout phase where
Mm-hmm.
it's just sitting there. You just like, man, is it ever gonna fill in? And then I mean, you just got to give it some time, keep the water to it, and it'll come around, which is I think what you're seeing right now, where it's like you seeing it, you've seen all of those phases, and now you're just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, all right,
Yeah,
I just gotta
yeah,
keep. I just gotta keep going. Now you feel like you gotta keep going. You just gotta dial stuff in, and
Yeah.
everything will be good.
Yep. That's exactly where I'm at, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. John
turfless.
L.
This,
White.
this
Yeah. First year, you got a lot riding on all that hard work.
Yeah, this the
Fast.
first this the first time I've seen turf like this, man. Turf. I don't think we've had to talk turf off the ledge this many times, like within a period.
Hey, but y'all been there for me, man. Hey, man. Like, I can't believe we went this long without even acknowledging it. Polo, congratulations. Everybody in the chat, if you didn't know, our
Oh yeah.
homie, your homie, Polo Pop 1K the day before. We already had this live completely sorted out. We knew we was going to do it. Y'all know us. We drop it last minute because we all working 24/7. And then my man Polo Pop 1K last night or yesterday afternoon. It was last night for me. Congratulations to you, man. Well deserved. Well
appreciate it.
overdue.
Yeah.
How's it feel? How's it feel popping 1K, Polo? How you feeling over there?
Uh,
What's next?
First, I want to give a shout out to Justin because you know how Jay Pink always give you a hard time. Justin always try to give me a hard time. Man. I'll be working hard down here, son. I be working hard, man. But man, it's a I don't know. I guess I'm looking at it like a horse that has his blinders on. Like I knew it was coming, but I'm still like in grind mode as far as just
hmm
like going hard. So I'm very happy that it happened, and I want to thank everybody that supports me. But it's just time to just keep going, man. Keep applying pressure, and just keep going hard, just keep trying to help people as much as I can. But as far as getting here, um, it definitely was a grind. Most definitely, a lot of people that sat up there and said, "Man, as far as just like talking, as far as the channel being a diamond in the rough." Uh, but we heard it, so let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. I feel good. I feel good.
Congrats, my brother. We've been making this push for a long time, and it's just one of them things that you stayed down. You stayed 10 toes down all the way, and
Love it.
was like, hey, you just gonna grind it out. And we was talking about it before the season started that we was gonna find our stride this year. And I told you yesterday, I was like, bro, you done found your stride. Like the content that you putting out right now, the way that you're delivering it, I think in my opinion, you've hit a good stride. You've hit a good stride, and like you said, that horse with them blinders on, keep going, bruh. Keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah, man,
that's it.
I've really enjoyed your content this season. Watching you evolve from when we was in, I can't remember what company's little meeting VIP thing we was in, but when I first saw you, and you wasn't even taking YouTube serious back then,
No, I
and then
remember the conversation of when he finally got serious about making some videos. I remember
right,
that.
man, and then for him to evolve this year into like straight dominating the 101 series, like, look, if you're not following Polo, you're missing out. I promise you. Who was telling me about this the other day? Evie does it. Evie does it has a phenomenal Instagram channel. He's trying to work on getting his content out a lot more. He's a husband. He's got I think he's got three kids. He's got a dope little Toro real mower too.
Yeah, that was dope. That was
Right,
dope.
but he was saying, he really likes us three. He likes us because we all do really good quality content, but they're completely different.
Hmm.
Me, I like to give more full story. Compose a full story for you to watch, something to sit back and digest. Cam, he gives you both angles of it, but he delivers it with his country swag. And then Polo just out there showing you what he does every day in the field, man. And that's clutch, man. A lot of like simple things like trimming your bushes. Like I've always trimmed the hedges, and I've never used his techniques. But while I was watching him, I was like, I'm gonna try that next time. I'm gonna try that next time. So that's dope, man. Congratulations to you, bro. And yeah, I can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings this year, next year, moving forward, man.
Hey man, we being like Fat Joe, we going all the way up, man.
All the way up.
Up,
All the
all the
way
way
up.
up. Nothing can
So I saw
stop me,
somebody
man. We going
earlier. They
all
were
the way
like,
up.
they're not ready for fourth quarter. Um, and if you feel the same way in the chat, let us know why do you think you're not ready for fourth quarter, and maybe we can help you out a little bit. Maybe we can give you some tips and tricks to smooth that out for you, and just prepare you as much as you can. Because if you're just now walking into lawn care around this time of the year, like the average American does, and German apparently, um, you're a little bit late to the party. But there are some things that you can do that we can do right to make sure that we at least reset the board properly when we get to the beginning of the first quarter. I call those
So
cool
turf,
season long.
so
It's like
turf,
fiscal years.
give that explanation of why we call it fourth quarter. Why do we
Right.
call this? Because some people may be like, well, what are you talking about fourth quarter? What's going on? Like, give an explanation of why do we call this fourth quarter right now?
Right. So Cam and I, we both start referring to this as fourth quarter. I call it, your final rounds in the fight. This 12th round. I think that's the first time I called it. But the thing is, when it comes to a cool season long specifically, this is who we're talking to right now. No disrespect to our warm season people in the building. But and thank you for being here. We appreciate you. But when it comes to a cool season long, the dramatic of the majority of your work is being executed in the fall. That's when your season truly starts, because that's when your growth potential is the best, and when the climate is the best, to roll you into winter, it being a cool season grass, loving cooler conditions. That is the time to either get overseeds established in, unless you're in a climate like mine to where you have like a warm season growth pattern, but you're in a cool season climate. We're going to leave that alone for the night. But for the majority of people out there, your work starts in the fall. It's almost like the fiscal year changeover. If you work for the government, your fiscal year was that October, September, October. Fiscal year changes over, money changes hands. That's when game time really begins for the cool season lawn. You get it as thick as possible, healthy as possible, going into the winter. When it comes out of winter dormancy, spring into the spring flush, it establishes roots or dive deeper, much healthier plants, and then you have to weather the heat conditions of a warm season climate. You have to get through that last hump, it being the fourth quarter, to make it to the reset of the year. So that's why we call it that fourth quarter. Yeah, I need to fix something. I hope that did I cover it?
Yes, sir. That was
Okay.
it. That was it. Because I know some people maybe was like, what do you mean by the fourth quarter? What's going on? What do you mean by fourth quarter? Um, but yeah, man, this is that time of year that it gets tough. It gets tough to grow a cool season lawn, especially if you are in the transition zone or farther south where you should actually be growing warm season grass. But hey, you might be like motivated moments over here. Coach Jay went down there
Yay.
in Florida, growing that good fescue down in Florida and killing it
Man,
and killing it. But he
That's
got
impressive, man.
he got a heck of a disease lineup though. he
Oh
got
yeah.
he got them fungicides lined up and ready. You can't knock him
Got
though.
to.
I mean, he knows what he's up against, and he's prepared for it. And that's the thing about the fourth quarter is
I like that.
being prepared for it.
I like that.
Especially if this is not your year one. If you've been in this game for a bit and you're growing cool season, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. So the thing is to make sure that you're prepared for it, especially if you've had any disease pressure in the past where it's possibly taking you out. And one of the things that I will say, if you've had a history of Pythium, that is one that I no longer play with, like at all. Like I don't play
Tried
with
it
it.
once.
Hey man, you burnt me one time, and you get one time only. That I will not be brought down by that disease again. It may be another one, but it won't be that one. So making sure that you can identify your disease pressure and everything, and getting your preventatives down if you need to, and see what's going on. I got some content coming up around that. Just for the fact that I mean it's probably going to be another one of my tailgate turf talks, and just kind of get around some of the things that can help you, and the things that'll help you get through this period that you may or may not have thought about before.
Yeah, I like what Janelle White said. He said, "I'm ready as long as it doesn't go into overtime." I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
Hey, it
Hey,
goes in
Polo already
overtime
in
over here.
overtime though.
It goes in overtime over here. If you look at my renovations video, the line that I renovated, everything came in clean. I told that story on the live too as well. But everything came in clean. The grass was green. I'm ready to show the grass. Walk up there, Pythium. And just like Cam said, when you get Pythium once, you like, look, I don't want food with this joker, right? I
Mhm.
know what this can do. So
mm-mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
that was in the later part of September
Polo,
when
ain't
that
that when you had to drive like 2 hours in one day because you knew you
yep.
needed to apply that day?
Yep. I'm going up there to go shoot a video of this beautiful line. And I get up there, and as I'm starting to walk the line, I see that mycelium, and I know that's not brown patch. I know that's not dollar spot. And I'm like, oh, I was all dressed up too. I was
That's what I was
clean.
getting to
You
say. That's
got
what I was
I,
getting to say.
you
Polo was
got
clean. He was
I
clean
was
too.
clean, man.
He had the fresh
Hey,
polo on, fresh cut. He was
so
clean.
bad.
man, I was past the polo clean, man. I was clean, man. I had to go back and get to a regular polo, man. Put on a regular t-shirt and come back and get the spraying. But hey, I know what that overtime is like, man. I know the one thing I'm scared about is double overtime. I don't want to be having to deal with no fungus in October and November, depending on the weather conditions. Because
Yeah,
sometimes in December it's still warm. So
Mhm.
yeah, I understand where you're coming from on that. Woo.
yeah, man.
Like,
I'm normally pretty good once we get through August. We're normally good because August and September are actually our driest months.
mhm.
Our wettest months is July. So that's when for
Mhm.
me that's when stuff it gets a little hairy for me, and it's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
always like Fourth of July, like right around Fourth of July. Um, we just start getting these evening thunderstorms, and that's really what it is. You start getting these evening thunderstorms 3, 4 nights out of the week, and it's just enough water to wet everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not really enough to get in the soil and actually do something for you, but it's just enough to wet everything, and it sits there all night, and it's 85 degrees overnight, and it's just sitting there, and it's just humid, and it may dry out the next day, and by the time it dries out, then you get another one right behind it. so it
Mm-hmm.
just consistently stays wet, and that's when it dies. That's when it really starts to kick in for us. So like
Yeah.
my overseas and renovations are typically tough because we don't get that much help from rain. Like
Right.
you've just about gotta have the
Yep.
sprinklers going in September. I mean, because it's one
Yeah.
of our driest months. But then October rolls around, and October is normally that
You
one
Gucci.
way renovations and stuff. It's just like they just jump out the ground
These are
overseas and everything starts to look good.
Yeah, man, that's a good point you made, Cam. Polo, could you unpack that a little bit? Why that window and those temperatures that Cam was talking about? You made a video about it last year, and I commented, and I was like, you didn't invent this, of course not, but it was the first time I'd ever seen anyone talk about it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. Can you go over that for the people in the chat, so they can understand of what to look out for as they're coming into fourth quarter season and they're dealing with this disease pressure? What is something that is very simple that they can keep their eye out for? And then Cam, I'd like to shift back to you, telling people what you do in preparation leading up to that danger zone that Polo's about to talk about. That'd be dope. If you want to give them a little bit of the ghost tonight, I ain't
Yeah,
trying to ruin no upcoming
I give I
content
give
for you.
I give them a little something.
So,
Okay.
first and foremost, before I get into this, I've got a slew of videos that is talking about diseases. I talk about a bunch of them. So if you're dealing with brown patch, if you're dealing with pythium, if you're dealing with melting out, leaf spot, I got videos on those things. Go check those things out. But something simple that you can look for is everyone watches the news. So when your air temperatures and your humidity together equal 150, that's when you're really in the danger zone. And that's when really a disease has the keys to be able to get into your line whenever it wants to. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wait until it gets 150 and then the disease will come, because the disease can still get into your line if it equals 140. If it's leading up to it can still get into your line.
That thing can
But the
pick the
main
lock.
Right. So the main thing that you want to look for is when it equals that, that's when you need to really be on your toes. Our temperatures, we got some rain last night and we got a little rain today. So our lows is going, well, let me see. I think they said on the news that our highs is like 72, but the humidity is going to be like 90.
Mm.
Mm.
So you're already exceeding that limit. So you need to take that into consideration as far as when you need to start applying your fungicides. A lot of people now, it's good to get it. If you get it down late, that's fine. But that right there is a good measure for you to be able to look at when you're watching the news and say, okay, we're starting to get towards that point. I need to go ahead and apply it down and put it down. Majority of the people are going to be putting down Bio Advance or Disease X. Disease X has to be watered in. It's got to get into the soil, so you got to give it some time to get to working. Versus the Bio Advance when you're spraying it on your lawn, but you got to get it down on your lawn so that you can be able to protect your lawn, especially if you've been dealing with a fungus. So I'll toss it over to you, Cam.
So yeah, in preparation for that, one of the things that I will say is make sure your fertilization practices are in line. So one of the things is over fertilization. It's not a good thing going into a disease pressure period. The other thing is using a lot of slow release type of fertilizers leading up to that. So a lot of slow release organic type, organic, especially organic. I'll say that, or organic type of fertilizers. They like moisture and higher temperatures for them to release. So now you have more of those nutrients being released at that period of time where you really don't want to be pushing a lot of growth. So now you've kind of lost a little bit of control there. Another thing is your fungicide program. So making sure that you are prepped and ready for your fungicides. Looking at your groups of fungicides and make sure you're rotating those fungicides within your program. So just picking a specific fungicide and just running it the entire season it could. I'm not going to say it's not going to get you through the season, but
Mm-hmm.
over time, you are now going to build up a resistance to that fungicide, and it is not going to be as effective as what it typically is. So making sure that you're rotating your fungicides, and if you have the option, make sure you're rolling, as we call it, or combining multiple groups of fungicides together. So now you have multiple modes of action to attack whatever is in the lawn. So those are a couple of things. And the other thing is water. I'll take it even back to something even more simple. Is watering. Just like I was talking about when we get natural rain, over watering during this period of time can also be a contributor. So now you've got more moisture in the soil and that top layer of surface and on the leaf blades, and having that, I mean, it's just increasing the ability to have those diseases there and for them to thrive. So dry it out a little bit, thug it out.
Yep.
Let
Control
Yeah.
control the controllables. You can't
Yep.
do anything about the rain,
Yep.
but don't be out there at nighttime watering your grass and you're in a disease window.
Yep.
Now, it's understandable if the humidity's not high and all those things, have at it. But another thing I wanted to say too, Cam, when you were talking about getting that resistance, I had also gave an illustration in one of those older videos comparing to lifting weights. If you're on
Hmm.
that bench and you got your 245, you're lifting 125. If you're doing that thing for a couple of weeks, eventually you're gonna plateau. That thing gonna get light. You're not gonna be doing anything.
Yeah.
You're just
Mm.
gonna be sitting there just lifting. So you
Right.
have to sit up there and change it up, and that's the
And
same
switch
thing
it
that
up.
applies with those fungicides. You can't just continue to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. You got to change it up. You got to change it up. If
Right.
you can't really change up too much when you're getting things from your big box stores. There's only a couple of things that you can purchase, but if you are really, let's just say motivated. If you all seen his lineup, he has a lot of fungicides, but that's because he know what he's about to go into. He know what he's about to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that you get funguses every year, you always have an issue, and you're trying to manage this, you're trying to manage that. You got to step out around from getting the things at the big box stores, and you got to purchase something that's going to be a little bit more stronger, something that is different. It's a different group, like what we were saying, and you have to apply those things to your lawn. You got to protect it. You putting all of this time and effort and money into this lawn. Hey, go that extra mile and try to protect it if you can.
Yeah. And Jonelle White, this comment that I want to make, this is for you, for someone who didn't really know too much about disease pressure, fungicide products before coming into this season. I highly recommend, especially if you don't understand what type of disease pressure you may be dealing with in your area, Greencast has a really good tool that you can sign up for alerts based off your location, and it will alert you leading up to disease pressure time periods for your area. So that's a really good free tool that you can use that will help guide you as far as what's there to expect in your region, because everyone doesn't fall susceptible to the same disease. Like here in Germany, the only thing I really have to worry about for about a whole 2 weeks, maybe, is a dollar spot. for the most part. I'll probably never see a situation where I'm in, well, knock on wood, Pythium.
Hey man.
Pythium, I don't have the right mechanics for Pythium. Now, the weather, where the weather is going nowadays, it could happen. It's possible, but it's very unlikely. Very unlikely. So, what you don't want to do is go drop a whole bunch of bread on fungicides for diseases you're
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
rarely even going to see. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Some stuff is better off. Some of this stuff is so expensive that it's better off waiting maybe to see if you even deal with it. Another resource you can do is hit up your local extension office, talk to the what is it called? The agriculture agent. There's a guy up there or gal who special. What do they call the county agriculture agent, the CAA? It's usually the CAA that will know. And you ask them what type of diseases, when it comes to disease pressure, about when, what time of the year for your grass type, and what are you dealing with, and they should be able to give you some historical data, some historical information on what to expect in your area.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get at one of the comments here in the chat. Um, John Robb, I know exactly who it is. But yeah, and the reason you get to talking about over applying fungicides, I think what you're talking about is over applying the same one, which is why you rotate your fungicide groups. If you don't, as I was saying, you will end up like you'll build up that resistance to it, and then at that point, now your fungicides are no longer as effective as what they were previously. So making sure you're rotating those groups and those fungicides is key, and that's why we do that.
Another thing too, to a super TA, you can like whenever the dude hit. We had talked about this before, as far as with a dude hitting your line in the morning, how you can run your irrigation. He
Mm,
was saying that he uses a line leveler in the morning to knock off that dew.
mm-hmm.
That there is a option that you can be able to use, but what we want to try to inform people on is to be prepared for it, because 9 times out of 10, a lot of people work in the morning. A lot of people are up at 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and they're gone and not able to get out there and look at the line. It's only until they have issues that's when you start to kind of like question, okay, what's going on, and I'm not going to spoil what I have coming up, because I'm gonna break all of that down, try to, but yeah, I mean, yes, that's something that you can do, but for your average person that works a 9 to 5, that works 8 to 5, or whatever the case may be, they not
They
getting
not
out there
getting
and
up.
dealing.
They
They
not getting up 5 o'clock in
they
the
not
morning. If they
they
up at
not
5 o'clock in the morning, they got some work to do. But I think
yeah.
I mean, that's what the,
if
the
you
golf
if you have
courses do.
irrigation,
Yeah, the golf courses do that. I mean, but they've also got
right,
people, attendants, that is a part of their
right, they
job
getting
to
paid.
do
Right.
They
that.
getting paid. They
Um,
was paid to wake up at 3 in the morning,
yeah.
check their own grass, and then go to the golf course and check their grass too. But I will say this: if you're irrigated, what you can do, cheat code alert, is look to see what time your dew point is,
Mm-hmm.
and then run a very quick cycle, number like 5 to 10 minute cycle on all your zones at the dew point. Because what has been found is, I believe it's what is it, the
The
sugars,
sugars.
extra
The
sugars that's
sugars.
being carried in the dew,
Mm-hmm.
is what is actually feeding and festering and accelerating your disease pressure. So if you are irrigated, or if you have your irrigation, even above ground irrigation, where you have access and the ability to time it, to set up a timer, to have it run that quick cycle to wash that dew off, that's better than nothing as well. We're talking about preventive stuff. This is cultural practices that you can adapt that may be a little bit more applicable than you squeegeeing your lawn. Do it if you can, though, because it works. The golf courses do it. They wouldn't be doing it if it didn't work. some cool videos out there on the gram. People running big old squeegees across the yard. I'm gonna get me a roller. RD was telling me to get told me about. I'm gonna order me one because I got the time. I'm up anyway, so got me a little pocket sized lawn. I can knock that out quick.
That's what I'm talking about, man. When you got those smaller lawns, that's another benefit of having those smaller lawns. You can be a little more in tune and more in depth with it, and get out there and knock the dew off in 15 minutes, and keep the joints rolling.
The only people up at 5 a.m. is Jesus and Turf. What's up, cousin Dorcas? Just Dorcas in the building. Hey, I'm here. I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
here.
and then too, I was like, yeah, I'm normally just going to bed around that time or just before then.
Right. Yeah. 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 I took me a little nap. I took a cat nap. Almost didn't make it. That nap almost had me for the rest of the night. Son reached out to touch me, and I just woke up. I was like, "Oh snap! Let me get ready for the show tonight.
Yes,
Be out
sir.
here hanging with the people." What
All
else we
right,
got, Jimmy?
so I'm gonna see if does anybody have any other questions. I see y'all been dropping them in the chat here. If
Yeah, thank
anybody
y'all for
had
that.
any more questions or anything that we wanted to get after, if not, we're gonna kind of go on into the segment of like what are the lawns looking like currently. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, I've been posting mine all over IG and uh, on my page on YouTube in the community tab. So
Oh, what's up, Vince?
I'm pretty sure y'all already know what mine looking like. There, so we good on that front. Y'all already know what that's looking like. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna save turf for last. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna toss this over to Polo. So,
Polo.
so Polo, we gonna see what you looking like over here. I think you might have sent me a picture or two, and we gonna kind of see what you trying to show the people, what you over here working with.
Rooted Long Coat snuck in here, and I missed him. What's going on, Vince?
My man Vince, yeah, I saw him when he came in. So
Whew.
Polo, I guess we got front lawn. I think you said this was today too, right?
No, no, that isn't today. But
Okay.
that is the front line though. That is the front line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, let me go ahead and talk about this real quick. First thing you notice is the doubles. Bing.
Mm.
You see that
He
feet is
said, "Bing."
you see it is money green. Bing. Everything is in order and everybody is acting the way they supposed to act. They leaning the way they supposed to lean. Bing.
It's
She's
like, it's like
nice and thick. She is nice and thick. Bing.
The
this joker is a fool.
She's looking
Bing.
good. So let's go ahead and transition to whatever we got next. What we got next? Let's transition to what we got next.
We're gonna go ahead and show. We're gonna show him this next one, and you know what it.
Oh,
You know what it
oh,
is. You
jeez.
That's the
know.
one. That's the one that had me dreaming.
Yeah.
That
He,
right
he
there
was he
had
was coming
Turf
for the he was
having
coming for the crown with that
He
one.
comes from the
that.
ground,
Hey,
man. He
hey,
comes
Turf
from
was
that
having
thing.
nightmares when he seen
That
this
thing
right
had me
here. He
having
was
cold
like,
sweats over
oh.
here, man. I didn't know how I felt about that, man. Oh, bing.
That thing right, that jump right there is fire, boy. So, so,
He said,
so for everyone that's wondering, these are diamonds. Yes, I
Mhm.
did a video on it, how to put diamonds in your lawn. You can put diamonds in your lawn. I don't want to hear this stuff about I got Bermuda grass and look. I got Bermuda grass up here too. That's not Bermuda grass though. That's not Bermuda grass. That's
Maybe
strictly tall fescue right there. But let me tell you something. This picture does not do any justice of what it looks like in actual real time. This picture gave Turf nightmares. This picture proved that Turf cheated. This picture was taken right before high noon when I shot that video. Yeah, Turf, I'm coming at you.
He
Right
coming
before I shot
hard
that
too.
video, this picture, if y'all hating on this picture, let me tell you something. Y'all haters, I ain't got time to spend energy into you all. But this is my test plot diamonds. Them things is shining, they glowing, they leaning, they working in the right direction. No, I'm not selling it. Look at the picture, it sells itself. I don't have to say nothing. Come on, Cam, show him another one. Show him another one. Show him another one. Show him another one, man. Show him another one. Come on.
Hey, Polo hype.
Oh
He is
man.
hype right now. He said hashtag skag live. Trini, we got a
Dang.
question real quick. Is
I
Trini
think that was the only one I had. Those are the only two I got in the folder. But all the rest of
Ah,
Trini
them look like that
that's
too.
all right. That's all right.
Trini
That's all
says
right. But hey,
yo
hey,
yo
y'all,
yo
y'all
yo
see
quick
y'all
to
see what the line is looking like. I've applied my fungicide because we were in our window. Uh, I want to say the end of April, normally around like Derby time, the first weekend in May. That's when we start to get really sticky. So I've already applied my fungicide. The line is looking wonderful, and that's how it looks right now. So no. Let me take that back. Let me take that back because I did change something up because I don't want them to see what it's going to look like on the stripe challenge. So
mm.
just know, you better bring your A game, baby. You better bring your A game, baby. We gonna come with something, baby. We gonna shock the world,
Bro, ain't nobody worry about you over here, man. We
hey. Good morning. Take it right at you. Hey, come on.
Hey, Trini, yo yo, quick to the point. GCI Turf Tall Fescue or United Seeds Super Turf is your question. This is what I say on it. Whichever one you can get your hands on, because the seed game is like Trill. So as long as the United Seeds Super Turf has 0% weeds in it as well, I think you couldn't
And
go
other
wrong.
crop.
And other crop, right? Weed seeds
And
and
noxious
other
weed.
crop. Yeah, there you go. And noxious weed. All three of them things. All them joints say 0%. Go for it. You can't lose. You'll be happy with what you get. You'll be all right. Yeah. Now you could dive deeper and look at the INTEP trials on each of the cultivars that they got blended in there and make a more educated decision. But I'd say if it's clean seed, just get it. Just get it because you blessed to find seed nowadays.
Yeah, and I think from a seed
Real
look
Aldo.
at Aldo.
Real Aldo. Damn Aldo. We flipping sides already. Okay.
Yes,
All right, Aldo.
sir. Son.
Aldo,
Aldo, we share the couch together, man.
hey yo, Aldo hit him with the 111.
You know, Aldo. You was Big Spoon, I was Little Spoon. You was Little Spoon, I was Big Spoon. We supposed to come on, man. We supposed to be better than that, Aldo. There you go. And Evie Does It says that the United Seed is a better blend. I assume he's referring to the INTEP trials based off the cultivar. So there you go. You got some swag in the chat for you.
Yeah, and I would say depending on what you're going for, and a lot of times if you look at the NTEP trials, a lot of people don't want to do that, but um, a lot of people ask me about my color, and they're just like, Cam, your color is amazing. Like, how does your color look like that? Why is your color? A good number of that is because the KBG that I picked, handpicked out of the NTEP trials, was one of the darkest green in the scoring rating for color. And that's why I handpicked it. And it was also one of the better cultivars that performed in shade, which I know I have. Hand picking. It's a lot of things that when you look at seed, seed is so critical in your end product. If
Mm-hmm.
you start with an inferior product because you wanted to save a little bit of money up front,
Mm.
you just gonna spend that money down the road trying to make an inferior seed look like something else. It just some seeds just do not have the genetics to perform the way some cultivars do, which is like my front yard. I'll give you a prime example.
People,
My front yard will
never mind. I
never.
thought you
Oh,
just
no,
go somewhere else. Oh,
I wasn't gonna go that hard.
my bad. We wrote it.
But nah, like my front yard will never look like my backyard without a full renovation. It just won't. There's a lot of older cultivars of seed that are in there, some K31 in there. It's a lot of old stuff in my front yard that I'm just working to overcome. Eventually, it definitely looks a lot better. It'll continue to get better the more I overseed. But the fact is, it will never look like my backyard.
Hey, Paulo, there's a nah. It's all good points, Cam, and you've been preaching that for some time. Paulo Randall Burns has a question that I think you addressed it, but go ahead, hit it again, man. Hit it
Oh, one
again
thing,
real quick. Oh,
Trini, I would say Mountain View seed
no, oh yeah, there you go. If you can get it,
if you can get it.
yeah.
Go ahead, Polo.
Hold on.
All right. Uh, Let me see.
Do we have anything else? I'm starting to
Yeah, I
probably.
was looking for something else.
John
Yeah, see, them
John L.
prices
White.
jumping.
That's a good. Why is seed so hard to find right now? It's because of the harvest. It's because of the harvest over the past couple of years. Has not been. It hasn't been producing as much seed as what it has in the past. That's one reason. Um, Another reason is consumption has gone up. Like over the past couple of years, consumption has significantly went up. So now you have a lower supply and a higher demand right now, and of course that just drives pricing up. Those are two of the reasons. There's some other reasons behind it also, but those are the main two.
Yeah, Evie does it says I got asked this question the other day, and I guess he's just kind of trying to pitch it to us to see what we would say. But bare ground, shaded area in transition. I'm assuming transition zone. What do you do? Seed, sod, wait to seed. I'd say you could do either one of those options, right? I would lean more towards side because is if you can keep water on it and you irrigate it and you in the shade, that it's not a bad wrap. I wouldn't want to leave it bare through the season. I would at least put some type of seed out if you were going that way and then clean it up or be prepared for pretty much a full heavy overseed again in the fall. That's what I would do. Because the weather's going to be fluctuating depending on where you're at in the transition zone. If you're anywhere like Cam and getting those heavy evening thunderstorms, you can wash a lot of seed away before it even gets to germinate. Some seed won't even germinate because it's too hot. It's like, nah,
Hmm.
this isn't my life.
I've
I didn't come here for this.
been there,
Uh,
done that.
I give up. So, but I would try to get something down.
Yeah.
I would try to get something down.
I
What you
mean,
say?
and when you start talking about shaded area, like how much shade are we talking about? Are we talking about it never get sunlight, or are we talking about it gets maybe 6 hours of sunlight, or it gets a couple of hours
Right.
of sunlight? So um, that's the other thing. It's hard growing grass without any sun. It's just It's just something that it needs.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah, I agree.
if you ain't got no sun, regardless if you do that thing in early spring when there isn't any leaves on the trees, eventually once those leaves grow, it's still gonna thin out.
Yeah,
It's still
yeah,
gonna thin.
yeah. I mean, and whenever it comes to shade, to be honest, one of the best solutions to get grass to grow in the shade is to get rid of the shade.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Thin that joint out.
yeah, I mean,
Bring some
and
loggers in,
sometimes
thin
it
it
may
out a
be
little bit.
just taking off a couple of limbs here and there. You gotta say you got to take the whole tree down, but maybe taking off some limbs here and there to be able to get some sunlight down to it. Um, will be able to help. Just like I got a lot of shade in my backyard, but it's growing good. The thing is that it gets morning sun. It gets probably 5, maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Perfect.
It probably gives around 4 or 5 hours of morning sun, and then once the sun gets high enough up, then probably uh, 10, 11 o'clock, then it's in the shade.
Mm-hmm.
So it it,
Yeah, that's
it
what
de-
you want. That's ideal.
yeah, that back section of the yard looks better than the area of full sun, and you can tell the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah,
You can tell the difference, but then that brings, but with that, it brings other issues along with it. It also holds more moisture. It also holds, like,
right.
I probably could have not even irrigated the whole section back there and, and just put one zone in that was full sun had been done.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said he's full shade in Oklahoma. So yeah,
Okay,
some
yeah, that
options. I mean, there's more than one way to skin that cat, but
I try to get
definitely if
some
you're
kind of coverage.
full blown shade, no morning sun at all, thinning, seeing if you can thin out some branches should be step one.
Yeah,
Um, and then going from there, because no matter what your situation is, if you're truly fully shaded and you're not getting at least 5 hours of some type of sun during the day, preferably morning sun, you're going to find yourself in a circumstance to where if you lay side down, it could be a mushy mess, not doing much of anything, just getting a whole bunch of disease in it a month after you put it down. If the climate is right, so seeing if you can get some sun up in there would
You
be,
may have a better chance with some chewing fescue.
yeah. That way it stays low. Germ. I got chewing fescue in my lawn right now, and it loves the shade. It loves that shade environment. My front has a really strong. It probably has the healthiest color. It's not the greenest, the darkest of the greenest, but it has the healthiest appearance, and most of that is the chewing fescue that's in there, from what I can tell. Uh, yeah. What else we got, Cam?
I did not see. I don't think I saw anything else in the chat. I think we caught up. I think we all caught up.
Cool.
Um, so final thing, what's your
No, no, no.
status?
Yeah, we can't do the. We gotta see turfs.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay,
Final
okay.
thing, what you looking like? What you looking like, Turf?
You sure you want to see it, Polo? I mean, you was
Yeah,
talking all
yeah,
big and strong earlier.
yeah, yeah.
Look, man, like you said, Cam. In 5 days, I had a lawn. I threw seed out May 2nd, and I was leaving to go TDY May 9th, I think, somewhere around there. The day or 2 days before I left, I had the most beautiful uniform germination I had ever seen in my entire life. Like I just knew I was going to come back to some greatness. I knew when I came back home I would be mowing. And that's exactly what I did. I came straight off the plane and laid down the cut. Now remember when I got here, man, it was rough.
You
It was,
want to show that
oh yeah,
you
yeah,
want to go
sure.
through
I'm
that?
even what I started with.
I let me
So
see
where
if
I
I
started
let me
from the
see if I
bottom.
can.
Now I'm here. Maybe I was at the bottom. You understand? It was rough from afar. It looked like it wasn't that bad, but the problems that was in that lawn, it was lumps, it was mumpy lumps all through it, however many years of thatch and thistle. Man, thistle is like the number one weed I have out here. That thistle is thick out here. And
and
I just
that
walked into it.
and that's one that I don't see very much. Like
Dude,
thistle.
it is everywhere. Everywhere. And
Yeah,
here's
I
the
mean,
thing, I had to look at this lawn for how many months? I got here in November. So it's November, December, January, February, March. Yes, trash. Look at the algae. Look, you see the moss and that's what all that light lime green is, man. It, look how much bare dirt is over here. But those are if you didn't know, we got these containers where all your trash receptacles go. You know, they take recycling serious over here. You know, you got paper, plastic, and if you don't follow accordingly, you get bills in the mail. Don't ask me how I know they know it's you, but they got it figured out. I promise you. You offend, you will get a bill in the mail. Um, but yeah, man, you see that. That's what I started with out front. That was probably 60% moss, algae, and the other 30% was thick thatch. I don't even know what kind of grass. You couldn't even I wouldn't categorize it as a grass. I would categorize it as something that was related to grass, maybe. And in the back, it was a lot of moss, algae. It was completely underfed. The landscaping was, it was all just very depressing. I ain't gonna lie. And it's bad enough because Germany during that time of the year, you're only getting like 5 6 hours of sun. I'm looking back there. This is how bad it was. I don't think I picked up poop for like a month and a half, 2 months. I just let them do whatever they wanted back there. I didn't want to see it. I just closed my curtains, didn't even look back there. I pulled my soil sample and then went back in the house. That was, I was like, I can't do nothing with that. I can't get jiggy with this. And I and I just threw in the towel. I came in the house and yeah, and I just started making my plan, man. I started making my plan and preparing for that first application of some good old holy water to
that
get that
good
thing done.
that good holy water.
Yeah,
That was
and then
gonna be
boom.
that was gonna be up next.
Look at
And
it.
this is
Look
where
at it.
we are. We crispy, baby. This is when you see everybody else. They got the spring flush going on. Everybody else nice and green.
Green.
They green, and I'm out here looking like a sore thumb, like sticking out hard. I got trenching holes still out there. Partially started leveling. This was a three. This was shoot. I was sifting 8 tons of soil for 2.5 months. Like that was wow. I wasn't supposed to have to sift that soil either, man.
Oh yeah,
That was
you
rough.
didn't plan on that part of it.
Nah,
You
that was
you put his back into
completely.
that.
Yeah, nah, man. That broke my heart that I had to do that. I still got probably a quarter pound, a quarter ton of quarter ton soil. And I still don't have my driveway back. But fast forward, that's where we were. That was probably around April, mid-April, right? And then fast forward to May 2nd, and we finally got that seed out. And then I came back home, and we was putting the first mow on it. And that first mow, which one you about to pull up next, Cam? Boom! This is when Polo got shook. Cause look,
You
we
was
was 11
about
days in,
you was about 40% coverage
40%
with
covered.
with stripes already. I was like, man, this is about.
Stripes.
I was like, this is about to be ridiculous. I was
This
like,
is a
this is.
problem. This
I
is
was
what
like,
that
this is.
Hudson did.
I was like, this is about to be ridiculous. He got He ain't even got 50% grass coverage yet and already got stripes. I was like, man,
You
this
see
is
what
about
that
to get
Hudson did,
ridiculous.
right? That Hudson, yeah, was laying stripes straight out the gate. Um, and that's when I knew that Polo wasn't ready. That's what I knew. I was like, oh, the crown will be retained. Um, the crown will be retained. And then now, I mean, you fast forward to today, and since Polo wants to hide his stripes. By the way, we're getting a I'm getting a we're getting a parlay for the stripe contest into this fall because they didn't want me to have any excuses as to, oh well, I wasn't really filled in this and that. So I switched it up. I took the front roller off. I switched it to the other bar that comes with the Hudson, and now I took the stripes out because I don't want them to see too much. But here we are. This was taken what 3-4 days ago, and
Yeah.
yeah, the lawn is officially like 30 days old. 30 days later, that's what I got. I went from nothing, literally nothing, and then look at the rest of the neighbors. They falling off. You see them? Look back there. You see the dirt piles in the back. Now they looking like, man, what'd you say you were doing again? What is that? Lay down irrigation and all, man. So this where we at. John L said I was dominating with 40%. Exactly. So we gonna do some real funky designs, man, because that Hudson it gets busy and it lays when I put that front roller back on, it's a problem.
Yeah, man.
I took
I
that smooth
was
roller off and put the bar. It's like an open ended bar. I actually get a way cleaner cut at this stage of my grass's life with that other bar. So I'm gonna roll with that one for a little while, and I'll put that smooth roll. Yeah, this is the side plot. We went from 40% to that. Got a little bit of weed pressure in there, but we're gonna clean that up. I'm about to go out of town again, but we're gonna clean it up next week Thursday because it'll have more than 30 days on it. But the true color is starting to
The
fill
neighbor's
in.
yard. Neighbor's yard.
yo, that just looks that just looks terrible.
So neighbor gave up. Neighbor gave up. He was like, you know what? So I guess I'm just not gonna try anymore.
Hey,
What's
that
what's
and
what's good, B Davis? I seen you pop in here, bro. What's
What up,
going on,
B.
man?
Davis?
It's been a minute. Hey, yo, holla at me, B Davis. It's been a minute. We ain't rapped in a minute.
But can you do it with the Bahihi grass? Oh no, I'm gonna leave that to you, bro. Bahihi King, I'm not stepping into your realm, man. You got it.
Got the
Got it.
Bahihi in the back, and I got the
Oh,
St. Augustine in the front, and I got the Muta on the side. What's good?
and yeah, and I'm gonna get some, and then he gonna get a driveway with Bimini, and then he gonna have it all out there.
he
Yeah,
got oh. He even got centipede in the back somewhere.
right. He said I was locked up. Let me out. Yeah, man, we in a good place over here, man. I feel good about the season. I'm pretty sure my irrigation is running right now. Just doing this thing. So that's nice, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's nice. It's nice
Man,
to just set it and forget it. Go check on it every so often. But yeah.
man, who you telling? You ain't got to tell me, bro. Like when it comes to the irrigation, and people, I think I had a question on one of my videos, and they were asking about like a specific product for the summer, and also like on an overseed, and for me, especially when it comes to if you're doing a full renovation and you're debating if you want to get peat moss or if you want to do this and you want to do all the extras. One of the things that I say is dial in your water. I am not a fan of dragging hoses around, and I don't think anybody should have to, especially if you're cutting above 2.5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
If your height of cut is above 2.5 inches, there's no reason you should be dragging hoses and moving hoses around. And there's no reason that you couldn't have something set up above ground without even having to trench anything in, and have an above ground setup that's right there that you can, with the beehive, you can push button it. Even if you don't want to do that, you can go pick up a little joint from Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever your local big box store is. Hook
Get your
that joints
orbit.
up. Get your orbit. I like the orbit.
Get your
I got the
orbit.
beehive
You
for the front yard because the front yard I didn't run no sleeve underneath the driveway or nothing like that. So my front yard's on the beehive.
man,
Perfect.
you can run the orbit. They've got it up to 4 zones. You can run 4 different zones.
That's when I had
Uh,
in Maryland.
majority of them, depending on what kind of heads and sprinklers you're running, you can run 2, maybe 3 heads off of one of them,
Right,
depending
right.
on what your water pressure is. I mean, most city pressure will get you at least 2.
Yeah.
That'll throw 15, 20 feet. Man, there's no reason. Like there, that is one thing that, like, if you want to put me on a soapbox, that's my soapbox.
That's the one.
That's my soapbox. Anybody want to talk to me about watering and, oh, I can't water, I don't have irrigation? There's no reason. There's no reason. It's because you
Yeah.
don't want to have water. That's why. It's one thing if
Right.
you don't want to pay for the water.
Are you- Right.
But that's one thing. That's a different story. But it's not because you can't have
The
it.
way these bank accounts set up over here,
Yeah.
you
Now that part I understand. I get that part. I get that part fully.
always get paid on the first and the 15th.
First and the
And the
15th.
first and the 15th, but the water bill come on the 29th, and see by the time the 29th gets here, we have a situation to where these things this ain't gonna work out. I got
it just ain't gonna work out.
gas is a bajillion dollars a tank. It costs me $100 to fill up a daggone act, dog. Like that is
Mm,
crazy, man.
mm.
$100
Dude.
to
So
fill up.
our gas over here, what was it? Today's Thursday, so it was Tuesday. No, Monday it was 4.79. Tuesday it was 4.99. So gas is just
You talking regular too, ain't you?
yeah regular. That's just what's
Yeah,
going.
I gotta use premium.
I feel sorry for the people who have diesel trucks
Mm, mm, mm,
because
mm.
that's just unreal. I have a friend who has a line company, and he literally had dropped some of his accounts because of his trucks. He's got 2 trucks, 2 diesel trucks, and the money that he was putting in there, he was being in the negative as far as doing
Mm,
all of that driving. He cuts a lot of acres, so
mm,
he's already using a lot of gas. Man,
mm-hmm.
that's a totally different subject. And not to really kind of bounce off, I was just in my dealer the other day because everybody, if you haven't been to the GIE, you need to go to the GIE. But at the GIE, especially Skag, they were showing a lot of commercial mowers that were battery powered.
Yeah, that's when B
So
Davis got locked up.
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Skag was supposed to come out with that lineup of mowers this February, but they pushed it back because they wanted to run more tests as far as the mower being out in the field when it starts pouring down, raining. Is any water going to be able to seep through, and the battery life and all those things. One thing that they are working on as far as for contractors is they're working on trying to get solar panels on trucks
Mm.
so that they can continuously be able to charge up your mowers. Because right
Nasty
now,
women.
your electric mowers, everything is catered to the homeowner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing you're
Yeah.
doing is you're cutting your lawn. So as far as like for me, when I'm out cutting 20 lawns, is my battery gonna go dead? How am I gonna be able to charge it up? So that's one thing that they're working on now is getting solar, making sure that solar panels can be able to get on trailers or get on trucks so that you can be able to charge up your mowers, which that's gonna cost an arm and a leg. But then again, in 10 years, you ain't gonna be probably using a gas mower anyway. So But I mean, I didn't mean to jump off. But I mean, gas is just
Nah, yeah, you right,
ridiculous.
man.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous right now. It's
And how that can be eaten into your cost as a pro out there. I know you and Cam are both, especially you're in the pro world now. I'm doing pro work. Don't get it twisted though. When I come back, I will be pro. But y'all in the pro world, and you gotta watch those costs. There's something like that, gas fluctuating like that, eat into your profit margins. And what do? You pass it to the customer. You don't want to do that,
you
but
can't do it with
sometimes
everything.
you have to, right?
Right.
You gotta pass.
Because
1793 only
They gotta get a
involved.
piece of it.
and then
Got to get a
again,
piece.
and that's not to be disrespectful or anything, but they're already passing it to you. So when you
Mhm.
go to the grocery store,
True.
your food's going up, your gas is going up, clothing is going up, everything is going up. So if you
Right.
are actually out there cutting lines for other people other than your line, if you haven't went up on your prices,
You
I
losing money.
guarantee right now you're losing, you're in the negative, and you're going to feel it. I
Mm.
guarantee you, because at the beginning of the season when it started, we was already at 350. Right now we're at $5. In different parts of the country, it's higher, especially in
Mhm.
California where Aldo is. It's
Mm.
six or maybe $7 a gallon over there.
Mm.
So if you haven't even went up on your prices, and they're saying here in Louisville we're gonna get up to 6. So that right
Nah,
there,
man.
man, I'm tell you something. That's a totally different conversation. Totally different conversation. But
It is
hey,
real.
it's real in the field, man. Shoot, you can you'll mess around and be in a hole sitting up there trying to be nice to Miss Johnson. Like, look, Miss Johnson, look at her, baby.
You gonna have
We pay, yeah, I understand. We've been on this same pay for a couple of years, Miss Baby. But look, look, Miss Johnson. I got
God
insurance.
dang. You got German prices in Cali,
Six
bro. He said
forty, right? Oh
640.
my!
Woo,
You talking unleaded too. That's regular unleaded, man.
Oh
woo. Mm.
That's
man.
that,
Hey, but that's how it is,
if I
man.
had to get my
That's
gas on the economy right now, it costs about seven euros. But the euro down. The euro is down. Like it's like 98 cents to the euro right now. So that's what's up. Luckily I don't have to pay those European prices. I could just go on post and fill up. But my gosh.
it's
Whew.
rough right now, man. It's rough for a person that does day to day traveling type of work. It's
Yeah,
rough, and I
yeah.
mean, like I said, you're lucking out, and you're actually doing good. If you are a homeowner, you're only mowing your lawn. You're really winning if you got an electric mower. You winning. You winning right now. You ain't got to worry about gassing up anything. Our
Yeah,
friend,
don't
I
do
had
that.
to Hey, I had to dig up a dead shrub out of one of my customers' lawns. And I didn't have my chainsaw on me. So one of my friends, he was like, "Hey, yeah, bring it on over here." Man, he set up there and got out his chainsaw, popped the battery in, done. And I'm sitting up there looking at him like, okay, you didn't do no cranking, you didn't do nothing, right? He's just like, yeah, I ain't gotta worry about it doing this, doing that. Man, you winning, man. If you a homeowner, you winning
I ain't gonna
right
front. A chainsaw would be one of them items, especially if I wasn't dealing with like big stuff.
now. Mm-hmm.
And like I only needed like here and there like specialty type of items. A battery operated chainsaw is a plus for me. I mean, because like,
That's a win.
if you're a homeowner, you ain't taking down full size trees and all of that. You might got to trim off a couple of branches here and there. You got to take down a shrub or something like that. That's about all you need right there.
Yeah, yeah, and that ain't no difference from a trimmer, from you trimming your bushes
Yeah,
or you edging.
you got once
You
a season,
yeah, yeah.
maybe twice a season.
That's it. You winning and win and John L, you are right. You cannot do that. you got to keep your eye on the dollar when you pumping your gas. You can't walk away and talk to nobody. If you walk away and talk to somebody and you got a truck, you done probably already put $100 in that thing in less than 10 seconds. I'm talking about not only is the gas as high, it seems like it's sucking up quicker too. You sit up there and you pump. You think you at $20 and you at 80, baby. You at 80. As soon as you turn around and pop your gum in your mouth, you at $80. Hey, I do it every
That's
week.
what he said. He said you can't pump gas and walk away from the pump and go talk to someone no more. Don't do that.
Nah, boy.
Can't
Don't
do
do
that.
that.
So Jacob and Cam had got on me. Was a couple of months ago, Cam, when I was on your channel, and I started up the polo green,
Oh yeah, you just had that
and,
joker sitting there
and then
running.
I walked away from it. I
It was
walked
just, I was like, man, what you doing?
It was still running,
Gas
and
too
Jacob
much
was
for
like,
all
"Oh
that.
man, you got free gas over there? What you doing over there?" Hey, let me tell you something. I learned my lesson because I left that thing running. It was running for like a good 5 minutes. I left it running. I was trying to show off the polo green. That's what
This
I
is what
was trying to
everybody
show
need
off.
to do anyway. You need to kick it old school. Just go back old school and go full manual like me. That's just go full manual. I don't need no gas, no battery. I just get out there and push it. Just put a little
Let me
bit of
tell you something.
leg power behind it.
Let me tell you something.
Oh,
If you're and this
people
is
be out
not
in the
trying.
field all day, all the time.
Hey, this is not trying to highlight any type of company or anything like that. If you're going to do your seeding, your fertilizing, manual, and all of that, get you a spiker.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
be like turf and get you a drop spreader. You get you a drop spreader, you're gonna be out there all day. You're gonna be out there all day with a drop spreader. Don't do that. Get you a spike. Cam and I have displayed it several times. Couple of times down the line, you're done.
Bruh,
You're done.
I told Turf, we was on our IG messenger. I was like, yo man, y'all fellas, I got to go I gotta go spread this fert. Let's time and see how it is, how long it's gonna take. So I did front yard. Front yard is 3,000 square feet. It's like, how long you think it's gonna take me to do this 3,000 square feet? I was like, I'll probably be done in less than, what I say, 4 minutes. I said I'll be done in less than 4 minutes,
Did something like that.
4 or 5 minutes. I came back a minute and a half. I think it was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, and I was like, yo, I'm done.
Done. This fool over here. Yeah, I got that. I don't have a yard big enough for a spiker yet.
Yeah,
Yet.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm cool with my Scots Deluxe, and really that's
yeah.
an overkill for my lawn. I mean, I only got 2,500 square feet. So, and even in Maryland, I
30
didn't have a
seconds.
lawn big in it. Right, you take the fun. I actually like spreading first, so like that would
30
take all the
seconds.
fun. Like I take a
Two
walk,
passes.
done. You know, I'll probably be wasting more throwing a whole bunch on my neighbors. Like I don't need no spiker right now. I think a spiker, once you cross the threshold of 5,000 square feet, yes, get you a spiker. That's where it's at. If you ain't got that, I mean, a drop spreader get it done. No, I'm joking. Look, the only reason why I was backing the drop spreader was for the edges, for your edges when you spreading that seed. But I didn't even do it because I didn't want to buy a whole nother spreader. I was just like, nah, we just gonna make it do what it do, man. We gonna make it do what it do.
Hey, John. Let me say this really quick, and then I'll let you go, Turf. I have a station that I go to all the time, where when you get gas, the pump shuts off at 80.
God
It it,
dang.
it, it shuts off at 80, and then you will have
Just to
to.
make sure that you sure.
Right. It shuts off at 80, and you will have to re-enter your card and do all this stuff or whatever. So I always go to that gas station, right? All the time. But sometimes I'll fill up before, because majority of times in the morning the gas station is full with just a lot of contractors going to cut, right? So I fill up when I get done at the end of the day. So I'm at another gas station. I don't have my mowing truck. I got Megatron. That's what I call it, Megatron. We had another gas station. In my mind, I'm like, okay, $80. Put my card in, pump my gas, start emptying my trash, and then I'm saying to myself, now this thing should have been in stop by now. It's already at 110. I had to hurry up and stop it.
Oh,
I
they
had
up that
stop.
limit. They up that limit, huh?
Lemonade.
I had to, and this was at a different gas station. I had to hurry up and stop it because I thought it was going to stop at 80 because I always go to the same gas station. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, it's gonna stop at 80, but no. I mean, I was almost empty anyway, but Lord Jesus. My wife told me I'm gonna have to get me a scooter or something. I gotta get me something. I can't just
He
Hey man,
He
I'm
gonna be rolling around with a what's that daggone wagon? The red what is them
the Red
shits?
Rider. No, the Red Rider ain't the
Yeah,
wagon.
Red
Red
Rider. No,
Rider
Red
is.
Rider's it probably is a Red Rider wagon too. Yeah. We gonna get you one of them daggone wagons, bruh. We can get you a gorilla cart, hook you up a gorilla cart to a daggone
Pull it
the
behind the skag.
yeah, pull it behind the skag. There you
some kind of
get
shape,
you
man. Some
get
kind of
you a
shape, man.
mongoose bike, a gorilla cart, and a Hudson mower, and I'll see you next year.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna see Polo no more. He gonna be gone.
Oh man. Well, Turf, man, I know it's getting late over there for you.
Yeah,
So we gonna go ahead and wrap it up. If y'all got anything else in the chat, um, let us know in the chat. But we're gonna start wrapping it up, and just to be able to close us out,
radio flyer. That's what it is. Radio.
just to be able to close us out here for a second. Um,
Mm. Ooh-wee.
so
That's them single doubles that took the L last year, right?
single doubles. Hey, I gave y'all the front. I gave y'all the front
I know,
yard
I
last
know,
year
I
and gave you a run for it. I ain't do the single doubles though.
That's when
I
Cam
had
was
the
swinging through
diamond
the
up.
trees like Tarzan.
Yeah, he was in the trees.
That footage though.
That boy Cam came through the trees like That yard looked good, Cam. Man, that yard looked good. Especially if you get
Boy,
a slow start.
boy, and
I like that 3 inches, man.
yeah, and it's tight. That 3 inches is tight. Um, and it just.
My good. Hey man,
Mm.
that right there gets a Shonda
Look at them
high,
edges.
man.
Look at the edges. Look
Oh
at the
yeah.
My
edges.
Oh
goodness.
yeah. You
You
know
see
them.
the edge?
You know them
That
edges
edge
got to
looked
be.
like concrete. It looked like he laid concrete on his daggone flower bed edges. Look how tight them joints are.
You know them edges got to stay crisp. I mean, I gotta keep, and I love me a live edge. I mean, I
Yeah.
love me a live edge,
Cam might be the
and
only person who successfully pulled off red mulch
mm,
out here.
Exactly.
mm,
So what I'm gonna do before the stripe challenge, I'm gonna send the imposter to both of you all's lines.
Boy, you need a plane ride to get out here.
I'm gonna send them
Polo,
to both of you all's
po,
lines, man, with your
Polo,
rear and everything.
Polo gonna sign both of us up for one application with True Green.
Be like, yeah, no, I'm good. You keep that.
He
You
could be like,
keep
"Yo,
that.
I need one application of 4600 at."
4600. I need triad. I
Hey,
need
with all the herbicides in it.
I need you to hit it
Yeah.
with stuff that don't even mix. I need you to put all that stuff on it. It's gonna take
Right.
turf grass back to 40%.
All right, good people, man. Hey, fellas, it was definitely good. It's been a while, people. We know it's been a while, but we had to bring this to y'all. Got you all caught up. Now y'all kind of see where we're at. See what we faced
Mm-hmm.
kind of through the spring. Make sure you go out and check out our YouTube channels. We are still posting content. I've got stuff that I have dropped recently especially if you're dealing with them woody type of weeds and stuff that you're dealing with. So, um, dropped a video on that. Also, I am doing the Tailgate Turf Talk series, and that is a series that is kind of taking us back to the basics, and we keeping it simple, little short form type of content. So make sure you're checking that out. And I know we had a couple of people here in the chat that were saying they're just getting into lawn care, they're just getting out into the lawn. The Tailgate Turf Talks are directed towards you. I know some of our more seasoned lawn care enthusiasts, you just may need a reminder. Every now and then, you just need a reminder of some of the basics. But we're going to toss it over to Turf. I'm going to let you go ahead and close it out. Any parting words from you?
Yeah, man. Boy, this day going this dial up over here.
Yeah,
Oh,
you've been
this
on
is
that dial up, bruh.
I've been on this dial up. I don't know what's going on with the interwebs, but nah, man. Thank you for having me. Appreciate being here. I'm just getting started, man. This real mowing life. I understand it. I understand it. I can appreciate it. I respect it. And I'm going to be showing you what that looks like from my lens. It's been really cool to be able to learn all I learned in Maryland and to take agronomy just doesn't change. This is proof. Basic agronomy
Yep.
doesn't change, and I have I mean, tilt a hat to the brothers over at the Grass Factory. They actually about to go on tonight, and if I'm still awake, I'm gonna tune in over there when we get done to check them out for putting out that great knowledge that they've just like water hosed down, pointed me in the right direction, water hosed down my throat. Pause, um, real quick, just to be able to come out here and do what I've been doing. So I appreciate your support. Whoever subscribed and enjoys the content, I appreciate it. Content is moving a little slower this year, but you can see why, right? I got my young son, little Turf. He's in the building. I moved to another country, dealing with, you know, extra Eastern aggression right now. It's a lot of parts moving, but nevertheless, the content will keep rolling. Polo, what you got for him?
Only thing that I want to say is, like just recapping back on what we were talking about earlier today. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel. Thank you all for your support, your continued support. I'm going to try my best to continue to drop some of that good content that you can be able to use and get out there in your line, as far as from my perspective with being in the field and seeing a lot of different lines, a lot of different examples, a lot of different problems and all those things. So it just feels good just to be able to just to help the average person, because I know that years ago I was in that same situation. So for me to be able to be on the platform that I am, it's just a wonderful feeling to be able to just share that knowledge. And even if you do know, I mean, that's perfectly fine. But you will be surprised at a lot of people that don't know some of the basics. So I'm just honored just to be able to be in the position that I am, and to be able to share a platform with both of you all. And I don't want you all to get it misconstrued as far as what Turf is doing over there, from going from cutting grass at 4 1/4 to cutting grass as low as what he's cutting now. That right there takes a lot for a person to sit up there and change up the game like that, like immediately. Within a not even a year's time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that right there is a big challenge. And I mean, it's really been a great journey to see where the line has came from, the irrigation, and to see where it is right now. The line look absolutely phenomenal. Like we were saying, the pictures don't do it any justice
Yeah,
at all.
nah.
They don't do it any justice at all. I mean, what you seen was 40% was better than some people's 100%. So I mean, that right there was just it's phenomenal to see where it's going. So of course that's what we want to share with you all. I mean, and just trying to help you all out as best as we can. So I pass it to you, Ken.
Yeah, so that's basically going to wrap it up. I'm going to say one last thing. Congrats again to my brother Polo on that 1K. I just wanted to say that one more again. We know how that grind has been. And just from the words that he just spoke and the content that he's putting out, it's well worth it. I mean,
Mm.
it's well worth it. I think it deserves more, to be honest with you. But he's gonna get there he's gonna get there in his time. And slow grind sometimes is the good grind. So
Yep.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. And in our videos, in the comments, if you've got any other ideas on videos that you would like to see, especially Polo. I know Polo addresses a lot of the 101 beginning type stuff, and then also on my turf talks. Those are more of those back to the basics. If you got things that you just have simple questions about or anything like that, and you're new to the long game, drop them in the comments, and I'll look at those to look forward to new topics that I'll talk about, and then we can also socialize that amongst ourselves, and maybe somebody else might want to get after. Hey, I got a video coming on that, or I got a video, or I want to take a stab at making a video for that. So that just kind of keeps us providing you with information that you want to hear and you want to see. So with that, hey man, we gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up, and we're gonna close it out like we always do. One thing's for sure.
Hey, two
Two
things for
things for certain.
certain.
Just know we
We
working.
working.
Yes, sir. All right,
Yes,
y'all. We appreciate it. We appreciate y'all coming out, and be on the lookout for that additional content that will be coming. All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Peace.